Welcome to MC Podcast, aka Men of Culture Podcast. In this video, we're ranking every single anime from A-1 Pictures you have probably watched before. Now, if you enjoy this type of video, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. We made another video last week of this right here. The cards right here. You can check it at the end. But make sure, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to run up to 1,000, so let's get to that goal. Anyways, let's get right into it.
Now, we're going to be ranking these S and below, pretty much. They're going to all have individual scores, but I'm going to start off with Sword Art Online, the backbone of all isekais. I know it's notorious for having its own plot holes, but this is a show we all grew up on, and that had a very compelling, thought-out, original plot. It was a great watch. Even the second part, even though it was just a different element, a different feeling, it was just a great adaptation to something different, and them doing something different overall. Great animation. This show has constantly put out like just good quality stuff time after time again. Even if the plot's just a little bit different, it's still a good watch. I definitely recommend Sword Art Online. I would say this gotta be a B. Is that an A?
Next anime on this list, I'm gonna say it outright. It's an S rank anime. Your Line April is an S rank anime. This is, to me, and I think unequivocally, the best tragedy anime. Like anime that's gonna make you cry, guaranteed. This is literally one of the best animes I've ever watched. It makes me cry every single time. I watch it every April. Your Line April is one of the best animes to watch, life-changing anime. I'm not gonna lie, it is sad. You're gonna love it in the beginning. It's gonna rip your heart out. It's, if you like classical music too, I think it opens your eyes to a different genre. Just music, you just see the world. It's a life-changing anime that's gonna change your perspective in life too. So I think it's overall a phenomenal anime. It's S ranked easily. So I mean, what else more can I say? Go watch that shit. Next one on this list is Erased. Now, obviously, if you haven't watched Erased, you gotta go check it out. I think it's really one of the best beginner-friendly animes. I rank this anime I think it's an A minus. The reason why I say that is because the beginning, I think, is very interesting. I think it grabs your attention. It's a supernatural anime. Basically, the main character goes back in time to try to prevent certain events from happening from the current event, and that adds definitely a lot to it. But the ending's a little shaky, and I think it kind of hurts the overall story a little bit. But I think overall, it's pretty good. Definitely a good anime to recommend to others. So I say this is an A minus.
Next on this list is Seven Deadly Sins. We got another kind of decent one here. Kind of same deal with Sword Art Online. It starts off really, really strong. It's got some really good plot points. Very interesting right off the rip. A lot of fight scenes if you like action. All in all, this show had a really good, compelling plot with a lot of good points overall. Just the further adaptations and the seasons are where it falls off, but we're not going to talk about this. Seven Deadly Sins is, I would say, really good as the original show. I would give that like an A minus, if not like a B plus. This show does a good job at entertaining you and, you know, putting you in this world and kind of making you enjoy that adventure and that journey and that action. So I think that's why they're getting some brownie points from me.
I do want to say though, Studio A1 Pictures definitely carried the fuck out of this show, because the moment A1 Pictures dropped that bitch, that shit nosedived.
Garbage.
It became basura.
Basura.
Basura, basura. So next one on this list is Gun Gale. Sword Art Online, the Gun Gale version, and this one is an F. Like I don't give a fuck what anyone says. This shit was not good. It was ass. Like honestly, the plot holes, everything, it just didn't make sense. Kirito becoming in a world of guns, being this OP with a sword, it was just bad. There's nothing really. I mean, I guess the animation, the fighting was pretty good, but honestly speaking, I feel like overall the plot made no sense. If you really think about it, of the plot for Gun Gale made 0 sense, and then the second half of the story was just, what the fuck was that? Why did you add that part? So Gun Gale's F.
Let me defend Gun Gale just a little bit.
Oh, no fucking way.
Nah, the only reason I have to do this is because it's right. You have that plot point, right? But it's not entirely inescapable of an idea. You have somebody that's acting as a killer in a game, and somebody who else has an alter ego in real life, or somebody who's related, and they go kill them. That's the whole thing of the game. So it's not unrealistic to the point where it doesn't make any sense, which a lot of animes have. So, but besides that, in terms of entertainment, I know him being a chick, half looking like a chick, half a dude, kind of messes the whole like schema of Kirito. I think the swordplay was sick. I think the way he kind of came into this gun world was such a different, like they were kind of stuck in a medieval era almost in Sword Art Online originally. So this was like a completely flip of the switch type of deal. So I enjoyed this. I think it was definitely pretty cool in my opinion. But it definitely had its issues. I can't deny.
Alright, look. I want to remind you guys that one of their theories of how like the people were killing the original villain, I guess the main villain from Laffy Call from Sword Art Online that was playing Gun Gale, he would kill the person in the game and then they would die in real life, right? Kirito's fucking one of his ideas was that the bullet traveled outside of the computer and hit the dude.
Who said that shit?
It was Kirito
because
theorized.
It's so inconceivable to happen, and like, how does that make any sense without having two people being involved?
So, I know.
That's
what they fucking do?
They added that layer to this.
What they fucking do? Obviously, you would think two people are involved.
It's
because it's like literally.
We can't spend as long.
It's literally the dumbest shit ever, bro. Like they did not think for a second. Two people must be involved because there's no way possible that if someone gets killed in the game, the bullet travels out the fucking. What the fuck?
Anyways, A&O Exorcist. All right, this show. Oh my god, I want to give this an S.
It's an S.
Okay, good. All right, I'm glad it's acceptable. The rating on this website is giving me non-S vibes, but this is an S.
It's an S.
It's definitely it has two different endings. It's a little weird. You have to watch in a specific way, but if you do, oh my god, this show is great. It's like, this is like, when it comes to original feeling and feeling like original characters and like a whole original idea that's not like a derivative of many different shows, this is just so great in this animation, in its storytelling, in its characters, and if its character development. I have no complaints about this show, besides the different ending kind of spiel. I really love this show. The animation and just the way they kind of went about his powers and his character was super sick. I think the brother relationship's cool.
I think Blue actually does a really good job at showing like a real brother relationship, not no weird anime shit, like an actual how brothers will actually interact with one another. Excellent job. And like, once again, obviously, once you learn about the backstory, which they foreshadow for so long, and then they show you the shit, and that shit's actually some sad shit, honestly. Like, I felt bad. And now they're on to season 5 or 6. Well, they're gonna have a season 6 now, and it's just like you want to know so much more. You said S, right?
Yeah.
This is S. This next anime on this list is S plus. If I can give it one, it's S plus plus. Love is War is arguably one of the funniest animes ever, man. I'm talking about, it's romantic. It's one of the best romantic comedies you're gonna watch. Truly, you watch this dub or sub, you're gonna enjoy it right off the rip. You think it's gonna be one of those annoying ass two characters like each other and they never get together forever. No, it gets right to it. You're gonna have your sprinkle of romance in it, of course, but it's a whole lot of funny shit. Like the whole cast, because I have rolling every episode. After some point, the show literally kind of makes fun of people who are single after a while. So that's even funny in itself. It is truly one of the best romantic comedies ever. This is an S plus plus.
Dick Garden's crazy. Fairy Tail is next on this list, and as we know, emotions and friendship saves the day.
Fight for my friends
every single time, baby. No, let's not go OD. Overall, this show.
Is that my friends here?
Yeah. They're making fun of it because it's a little bit not childish, but emotions is what fuels their power, I guess, or Natsu's power. I don't get it. I just know it's very not simplistic, but simplistic. I think honestly, I enjoyed the show when I was younger. I remember watching it. It had some cool fight scenes. I have no complaints about this show, really. I think it's probably a B minus. A B? Alright, yeah, we'll give it a B. You guys, this is well-known anime. If you haven't seen it, you could give it a try. I think it's got its good points for sure. Definitely some originality to it. And I actually like some of the fighting too. So, definitely not terrible, but definitely B tier.
Next one on this list is Darling in the Franxx, and honestly speaking, this anime is a C plus at best. Darling in the Franxx was just like, honestly, the first 15 episodes of Darling in the Franxx, it's an S tier anime or A plus anime, and then the rest of it makes it dog water. Like, I don't know what happened. What they did, they fucked the ending up so bad that it really ruined the show. I'm gonna just keep it a buck with you. It's a romance anime with mechas in it. I think it does an excellent job with the mecha and adding us a whole new world. And I definitely thought it would have been really, really good if they expand upon the world. But I'm gonna say it right now, this anime dropped the ball. I definitely recommend you still watching it. It's definitely worth the watch. But definitely be ready to be disappointed. It is a C plus anime solely because of how terrible the ending was. It's that bad. You watch this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Next on this list is Anohana, the flower we saw that day. This anime is fucking sad as shit, bro. Sad as hell. But this anime does a good job of adding the suspense, adding the layering to like a lot of just plot points in the show. But basically, it's about a group of friends who kind of drifted apart after one of their friends' deaths, and the main character is a recluse. And they all are in their own spots in their life. And basically this ghost comes back of her spirit, Mako. And he thinks that he's hallucinating at first, and then he really thinks that it's the ghost of her. And basically they have to refine her, or relive her death and figure out where she died, right?
They had to basically make her like kind of grant her final wish to make her like pass on fully. Because she was there because she couldn't pass on, basically. And so the whole friend group basically gets back together again to basically like help her pass on. And in that doing so, like they do eventually do that. Oh, I bet you guys. Huh? Next one on this list is Sword Art Online Alicization. Wait, that's what I'm doing, right? Yeah. Alright, Sword Art Online is a Alicization is an, honestly, I think it's an S rank anime. Okay, it's an A plus anime. It loses the S rank because of that grape scene that was so unnecessary. I think totality of Alicization is really good. I thought the characters of the Alicization world were way more interesting than the main cast of Sword Art Online, and they had way more depth in everything about it, which is really good. Kirito was in the forefront, but somehow it made the anime even better at certain points in time. So like I said, Alicization is definitely really, really good, and I thought it should have been the next part of what Sword Art Online should have been from the beginning. This is definitely a better step in the right direction of what, like, really, really good world building and everything about it. It was really good, so I think it's just definitely an A plus anime.
Next on this list is Maggie. I'm gonna have to give this an S, if not an A plus. This show is just, I think, just so creative and so original in terms of how they did it. But basically, this show is about Maggie, which is basically a magician who's so super powerful, and they look for kings to basically lead and help kind of become bigger and better and clear dungeons, and they acquire power. But this show does a great job of kind of putting this innocent, like, yet jokingly character kind of find like his path just slowly as he moves throughout the world, and he meets people and they join him in his journey. And I think this show is really good in terms of like making you feel a part of the journey, feeling like you're in that world and you're a part of that. And Aladdin is super cool, and it's just the way he dominates the whole show, just as his character. It gives so much relief and so much fun with it. So Maggie is definitely up there. I recommend that.
And the openings are just so fire, man. Love the opening. Alright, the next one on this list is 86, and this anime is an S rank anime. It's one of the best mecha animes. Character development is really good. This world building they do is amazing. The way they do the story of showing two sides of the same story and just a different format is really good. You're gonna love and get attached to each and every character, and no character is really safe. And when they do that and make it very clear that any characters on the chopping block, you have a tendency to care about the characters even more. 86 is an amazing, phenomenal story. If you haven't watched it, I don't know what you're doing, but this is an S rank easily. Alright, then we're gonna go to the next bullshit ass.
Bullshit ass, aka solo leveling, aka S+++++, bro. This show is one of my favorite shows out there. Khalil's saying S-. He's a hater. One of many when it comes to this show. This started off with this started off as just a regular author just writing something compelling and interesting, and it turned into something like this, animated and one of the top trending things in the world. The fact that it came from nothing to all that, and especially me who's watched or read that shit like 3 times before it even came out. But anyways, back onto the main point. This show is absolutely spectacular. The sense of progression in this show in terms of character development, just the absolute beauteous animation that this show has, season 1 and season 2. This plot is just so compelling. It's very simple, but it definitely puts you on a path, a journey, and you go along the way with Sung Jin-woo. And I think people like this show so much because this guy came from nothing and kind of built his way up through continuous battle. And this show is just a great shonen action type of deal. Definitely an S rank for me. I don't know why Khalil's saying it's anything other than that. This show is just goated. I don't want to hear nothing from Khalil.
I guess. Next anime on this list is Gate. This is a B+ anime. I really like Gate. It's an isekai anime, but the only thing is that I feel like it could be a tad bit boring at times. And honestly speaking, I feel like the way they kind of no-diffed the isekai world, basically, it's when like Japan's military force goes to an isekai world, which is they're still trying to figure out how to build fire and have light switches on, goes to isekai world, and they obviously like advanced technology versus sticks and stones is gonna get fucked up. And I feel like the idea of it is really interesting, and there's definitely some things that can make it interesting, but overall I think it's a solid B+ anime. It's definitely a good watch if you don't have anything to watch or you're just looking for something new. Definitely go ahead and check it out. I think it's an interesting and different isekai, but B+ and okay to watch.
Next on this list, we mentioned in another video, which is an underrated like hidden gem, which is Grimgar. This show basically it's about people that wake up suddenly and they're in a world of magic, of weapons, of goblins, and that sort of adventure type of deal. But it does a great job almost in terms of just storytelling, but also what happens in the show. It's nobody's safe. It definitely puts on this realistic take on what would happen if anybody like an ordinary people like us were sent to another world and have to do stuff like that. There's so much realism with it. But I think this show was so underrated. So definitely, if you haven't watched this one, definitely watch this.
Okay. I do Arrow Manga. Arrow Manga is a D. I'm not gonna lie, it's a D tier anime. You're kind of down bad if you're watching this. I watched some of it, so I guess I'm down bad too. But fuck it, who cares? I'm me. This is a interesting anime. You're either really bored, or if you really like this type of anime specifically because of the ichi, you're picking the wrong type of stuff. As a man of culture myself, I prefer a more mature type of thing.
Anyway, following up on the next one on this list is gonna be Mashal. I think this show is actually mad funny. This is just kind of just a really done well anime. People say it's like a Black Clover, like copy and paste, just because this dude's got muscle in a world of magic. Like it's not even close in terms of what goes on in this show. He doesn't have the magical power to erase magic. He just whoops ass. That's a complete different. This is like One Punch Man. If you said this was One Punch Man, I would say it was closer to that. All right. Anyways, Mashal is a great comedy. It's got really great side cast and funny main character. Intro is super sick. I don't think you can get that out of your head if you listen to it once. Khalil's playing it right now. But no, this show is super cool. I like its twists and turns. It's just a well done just anime like this. I give it an A, to be honest.
Solid. Oh, Seikino, How to Raise a Boring Girlfriend it's an A tier anime. Definitely worth the watch. Honestly speaking, especially because I read the manga, and I actually really am a fan of the manga, so I am a fan of the show. Honestly speaking, there are 3 waifus that all different types, but you have a favorite. You're gonna have a favorite. The main character, okay, he does piss you off because he purposely acts aloof to all their advances. He's aware of every single one of their feelings, but purposely acts aloof to them and acts like he doesn't understand or acts stupid. But I think overall the show is still really good. The characters are interesting. And the things that just happen are like high school event stuff, but it makes you want to live in that world. Like, it's really interesting. The 3 heroines are very talented in something. So, and the main character is just, I don't know, Riz Master 3000. So, it's an enjoyable watch. Check it out for sure. The next anime on this list is the Asterisk War. This is a C tier anime. Honestly speaking, the main character is like literally your copy and paste, kind of super OP, and gets a harem by just swinging left and just being OP. His lightsaber skills, because it's basically like lightsaber swords, and he fights with them like pretty hard. But like overall, this is kind of a generic story. You can kind of predict all the events are going to happen, but it is a solid watch. You can definitely check it out, but it's you know what I mean? You're gonna get what you expect from it.
Next on this list is Oreshura. This is about a guy named Eita, and he's super strict about his grades and about studying. But basically, there's the most beautiful and popular girl basically notices pretty much like apathy to want to be a doctor and try to ignore love and not want to be a part of it, and almost criticize love to the point where he didn't want to be a part of it. Yet she tricks him basically using blackmail to get him to date her and to get all these people to stop, talking about her, or like, people asking her out to date. And basically there's 3 other, heroines here, and they all like the main character. But it's pretty much a take on him being able to go through these like phases of love and being able to develop that while developing the skills he needs to go further on in life. So this is just a good show altogether. It's a pretty good watch. It's just progression.
What's the rank?
I'll give it a C tier.
Oh!
No, I'm just kidding. I knew you liked this one, but I give it a B plus.
Okay, I agree with that. I mean, a B plus. Cool with it. Okay, next anime on this list is Licorice Recoil. This is an anime original that is actually pretty good. It's female led, so if you're looking for a female led heroine based show, this is pretty good. Honestly speaking, to give you a premise of the show, basically the reason why Japan is so safe is because these teenage girls got them bitches on them. So anytime someone thinks about doing some shit they're not supposed to, high school girls come out of nowhere with the blicks and start lighting them up. First episode, it dead shows them that, like, yo, people, they be on, like, someone steal a lady's purse, they go in a train station, it's just girls with Tommy guns just lighting them up. They try to, like, do some terrorist act, yo, sniper, pow, blow him up. And then there's one girl, she's built different, but she doesn't kill anyone because if she did, she would be a killing machine. But for whatever reason, she doesn't. And it's a really good story, actually. I think it's interesting and different twist from like having these girls, little girls, high school girls, basically stop terrorism. So it's definitely an interesting and different anime. I think you should check it out. And honestly, the female heroines are really interesting as well. So I think it's an A-tier anime. Okay, next one on this. I'm just unload the clip then. Next on this list is Aldo Zero, another anime original. This is honestly, I think it's a B plus, B tier anime, just because of the fact that I think season 2 is way worse than season 1. Season 1 was really good of Aldo Zero. Season 2, it's a little bit. I think it missed some of the plot points, and I wish they didn't go in a certain direction that they did. I feel like it was kind of dumb. But I think overall this is a really good show. Definitely a really great anime original. Excellent mecha anime, and honestly, it's basically like Martians try to invade the Earth, and they use a political scandal to have a reason to basically invade the Earth and take its resources. And obviously, they have these big ass mechs that they can fuck shit up. But you know, humans being humans are resilient as ever, and they find a way basically to fight back. And it gets really intense. I think it's really good, definitely worth the watch. But I do think there definitely is flaws, so that's why I think it's a B plus, no, a B anime. It's a solid B anime. Next one on this list is Fate Apocrypha, and then since it's a Fate one, I am 100% biased. This is an S tier anime. To be honest, if you watch the Fate series, if you understand the Fate series, then it's going to be lower on your list. But if you don't understand the Fate series, it's an S tier anime, and that's what it is for me. I understand the Fate series, and it's still S tier anime for me, because you have to understand this is a different style of the Holy Grail War, and there's a lot more servants, but the action, the fighting, everything that's going on, they fight hard as a motherfucker. Like, they just box in that bitch. Karna, Siegfried, what's it called? Jean Arc, what's it called? They have Dracula. All the heroic spirits of old that you know of in the past is in this bitch, and they fight like a mother. They fight like this. I'm gonna tell you right now, one thing I can promise you: Jack the Ripper's in there. They fight in that bitch. Now let's go into the next one. S tier anime. Grand Crest Senki is, I think, honestly speaking, this is a B plus anime. Like, overall, start from finish, it's a really good story. It brings you on a journey that has a solid ending that's satisfactory as well. So this is definitely a good watch. Especially if you have nothing to watch, go check out Grand Crest Senki. It's definitely worth the watch. It's a B plus anime that's gonna take you on a journey that you're gonna love for sure. Next one on this list is Too Many Losing Heroines. This is an A plus anime. What? Listen, the main character starts off as a regular degular. He sees an awkward situation that he doesn't want to be a part of, and boom, he's involved in the situation immediately, and now he has to deal with basically the heroines that lose and fail to fall in love. He kind of picking up the pieces. Low-key, the man raises a little bit, but he's obviously trying to just develop friendships with them. I think this is also a pretty funny show that definitely does like answer the aftermath of basically like females like being rejected and not falling in love. So I think this is an excellent anime. It's worth the watch.
Alright guys, it's been MC Podcast, aka Metaculture, and I hope you guys like, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys like the A1 Pictures ranking. Deuces.
Say Metaculture, people. Peace.